Welcome to Bike World. Don't worry, the guys haven't moved me permanently to Italy, although it does feel it. But now I'm in northern Italy on Lake Como with Moto Guzzi at their factory, which is steeped in history. Over 100 years Moto Guzzi have been making bikes right here on this beautiful, beautiful lake. And to celebrate that, this is the V100. Now, normally when we test bikes at Bike World, we talk about a bike that's been improved by 5%, or it's got 2% more horsepower, or the rigidity is 10% and it's 0.3 faster. This is completely different. Forget everything you know about Moto Guzzi, because this is so different. Yes, you've got that charismatic big V-twin, so it looks like a Moto Guzzi, and you've got that famous brand and that eagle kind of shape on the headlights, but everything else is completely different. Now, if you didn't know, Moto Guzzi is part of the Piaggio group, which brings in skills and technology from Aprilia. So there is very Aprilia-like in places, which to me is a good thing, because I'm a huge fan of the Tuono and the RSV, and this uses very similar Öhlins semi-active suspension. That's right, electronic semi-active suspension on a Moto Guzzi. We've also got a radiator. We're no longer air-cooled. This is water-cooled. We've got power.
Oh, just ride the torque. It's like, no, we've got a quick shifter up and down, auto blipper. We just don't need it. You only need one gear.
We've got a 6-axis IMU. This is things I would never thought I would hear from Moto Guzzi. We've got cornering ABS in partnership with Bosch. We've got lean sensitive traction control. We've got a smooth up and down quick shifter. I've got 4 rider modes.
Tour, rain, sport and road.
I've got cruise control. I've got heated grips. I've got a heated seat. I've got electric screen. I've got Bluetooth connectivity. The list just goes on. So the engine isn't anything from previous. It's completely new, completely redesigned engine. 115 horsepower. The chassis, again, completely new. Everything is completely new on this bike. The only similarity is, as I say, with Tuono and RSV and a bit of 660, in that it's got very similar clocks and switchgear. The big talking point for this bike has been the adaptive wings, because rider aids, lean sensitive ABS, lean sensitive traction control, we've seen on other models, we've seen semi-active suspension, although it's completely new for Moto Guzzi. But what's completely new for the motorcycle world is adaptive wings. Now, we've spoken about wings previously, but that's always been to create downforce to stop wheelies on Panigale, BMW S1000R, RSV Mille, etc, etc. These are Aero Wings designed to improve the comfort and deflect the wind away from the rider. So simply put, in rain mode, the wings are permanently out, because when it's raining, because you're in rain mode, you don't want the rain to hit the rider, so the wings come out and, in theory, pushes the wind and the rain away from the rider. When you're in touring mode, they come out at a select speed, which is 60 kilometers an hour. In sports mode, they don't come out. But within the new dash, you can flick through and you can change that. So if you want the wings to come out in sports mode at 20 kilometers an hour, you can. If you want them to come out at 90 kilometers, you can. So at first, I thought it was a little bit gimmicky. But when the wings come out, because you don't operate the wings, they just do it automatically, you feel the difference. It's a little bit strange, and when you're in sports mode, you're riding quite quick and the wings don't come out and you feel the wind more. So they definitely do something. But to get a good test of this bike, we do need to put some big miles on it, which I'm looking forward to doing. There's a huge range of accessories, big luggage, we've got cruise control of standard. It should be a fairly frugal engine, so it'd be interesting to see what we can do and how far we can go. In terms of handling and dynamics, it's still Moto Guzzi, but it's very, very different from any Moto Guzzi that I've ridden before. It feels a lot more Aprilia-like, and I mean that in a complimentary way. Sports mode for me is a little bit too firm around these roads here in Como. The roads are not brilliant, a lot of bumps, and sports mode is a bit too rigid. But maybe when we give this bike to Chris in Wales, he'll love sports mode because he'll be riding it like he's stolen it. For me, I'm turning to an old gent, I think, these days, because touring mode is much more softer, the suspension is softer, it's much easier to ride, and you've still got maximum power. It's just nice and linear, love the throttle, lovely torque. I'll be honest, I don't know what the red line is on this bike because I never got anywhere near it, because there's no need to. From about 3,000 RPM, it's making over 80% of torque, and that's where you need to be. Above 3,000, drive the mid-range, that's where you need to live. So the big question mark for this bike is going to be price. The base bike starts at £13,500 in the UK. For that, you don't get the semi-active adjustable suspension, and there's a little less spec. This is the S model at 15750. That has everything you can see and a semi-active suspension. It's interesting because the price is reasonably expensive, but then where is the competition? Because it's a tourer, and it's a roadster, and it's sporty, and it's desirable, and it's exotic, and it's Italian, and it's kind of like difficult. Is it multistrada-y? Is it Kawasaki SX? It's kind of in between there, but it's kind of unique all of itself. If I was going to pick some faults, it's pretty hard going, to be honest. The screen, to adjust it, you have to go within a mode to adjust the screen. I'd like a separate button to adjust the electric screen. For me, I've ridden Guzzis for 20, 25 years, and I like the character of Guzzi. I kind of like the little rock and the little pull on the shaft drive, and the character is being diminished because there's less vibrations. I don't know whether if some big Guzzi fans will like that or not. But when you're picking faults like I want a separate button for the screen, you know it's a pretty good bike. But the ultimate test is going to be when we put some big miles on it and we put it against the competition. But as far as first impressions at this beautiful factory, in this beautiful country, on a beautiful bike, I'm in love.
I've had worse days whizzing around Lake Como on Guzzi's new V100. I mean, oh my word.